Hi everyone and welcome back for another episode of Hi Events. Today I am joining you from the Golf Face Hotel where IEPSL is hosting their annual general meeting and their annual technical session titled Convergence 2025. This esteemed event will unite environmental experts, policymakers, academics and industry leaders to explore a more sustainable future for our country. So stay tuned for more. I'm Danelle and this is Hi Events.
A few opening remarks. This evening, it's our pleasure now to invite on stage Honorary President, Institute of Environmental Professionals, Sri Lanka.
As you are already aware, the Institute of Environmental Professionals is the umbrella organization of environmental professionals in the country. It was established in 2006 through a cabinet memorandum and legalized as a corporate body through an Act of Parliament, number 1 of 2020, in February 2020. The Institute was established to fill the much needed gap of having no professional institute for practicing environmentalists, to uphold their dignity and to raise the reputation of the environmental profession in the country. As a professional organization, it is important that we keep abreast of national environmental policies and strategies. Coming at a critical juncture, when Sri Lanka is experiencing severe economic hardships, engaging fruitfully and continuing to support the country's development efforts by pushing boundaries on interlinked and complex issues has become imperative.
So I am here with Ms. Shriyani Yasaratna. Ms. Shriyani, how are you doing this evening?
I'm very good, thank you.
Well, so my first question this evening would be, since IEPSL's inception in 2006, how has its role evolved?
As you said, we were established by a cabinet directive in 2006, and in 2020 it was legalized as a legal body under an Act of Parliament. So since 2020 we have been a legal entity. Even though we were not a legal entity, we still continued to do what we had to do, being the only professional environmental body in the country which has a diverse array of members, be it engineers, architects, lawyers, scientists, managers. They all come together in a forum working towards sustainable development and policy development in the environmental arena in the country. So even though it is established legally in 2020, since 2006 we have been doing this job.
Amazing, absolutely amazing. And so my final question to you would be, what are some environmental challenges in Sri Lanka today and how does IEPSL contribute to addressing them?
I think one of the most pressing problems the country is facing is the issue of climate change. Climate change affects everything. Be it biodiversity, sectors like tourism, agriculture, manufacturing, the exigencies of climate affects all these sectors. So basically what IEPSL's role would be to look at the policy development in the country, also look at the vulnerability index of Sri Lanka, help communities to adapt or companies to adapt themselves, because adaptation is the most important thing. By way of carbon, Sri Lanka doesn't emit very much carbon into the environment, but we are the recipient of all the impacts that climate change can bring. So Sri Lanka is one of the most vulnerable countries where climate is concerned. We have the coast right around us. We have communities of being affected by climate variances. So the role of IEPSL is to raise awareness about this issue and also help communities and all sectors to adapt to climate exigencies.
drive our business on four pillars of caring, quality, innovation, and integrity. Caring, obviously, is a pun from our beginnings, and quality and integrity are at the forefront of everything we do. And when we look at innovation, I hope many of you are familiar with our brands. We've tried to bring to Sri Lanka something that, to grow the food industry. Today, if you go, there's very little value addition in the food industry. And I think for economy to grow, this is a fundamental that needs to happen. And I'm going to take advantage of the fact there are so many very important people in this room to really share some thoughts on the necessity, because food is one of the, zero hunger is one of the SDGs. Sri Lanka has gone through a crisis. We are seeing malnourishment like we've never seen before. Our cost of food is also very high.
At a time when environmental conservation is an urgent global imperative, this gathering represents a beacon of commitment toward integrating sustainability into policy, governance, and industry. As a Minister of Foreign Affairs, Foreign Employment and Tourism, I firmly believe that environmental professionalism plays a crucial role in building the image of Sri Lanka, enhancing tourism, and strengthening our position globally. As I believe, a country's commitment to environmental sustainability is a defining factor in its international reputation. Through sound environmental governance, we demonstrate responsibility, leadership, innovation, and values that enhance our diplomatic engagements and international partnerships.
So I am here today with Mr. Asela Idavela, IEPSL's president. Hello, Mr. Asela. How are you this evening?
Hi to hi.
So, how are you feeling this evening?
Yes, very glamour, because this is the first time after 19 years of this IPSL of organization gathering. This is the first time we are having this kind of glamour with this evening. With that, I am very proud about that.
So my first question to you would be, what are some key objectives of Eco-Convergence 2025?
Yeah, actually we are the platform for policymakers, where we can introduce the stakeholders and professionals and experts on that field to the policymakers, the way forward of the sustainable future of the Sri Lanka basically in environmental. They are the best people to advise on that one. That's there where we can provide that service to all the stakeholders when required.
All right. And also, can you explain to us the Clean Sri Lanka initiative and IEPSL's role in it?
Yeah, actually this Clean Sri Lanka concept, this ARM has already requested from the IPSL to provide them scientific advice and all the expert advice to them run that task force in proper manner. Apart from that, as a president of this organization, I have decided with my council approval to map in the entire water streams in Sri Lanka. That means that no one has done that water sprints in Sri Lanka survey, and we want to conserve that party for the future of this country. Therefore, we are going to mapping and do the conservation for future requirements.
I must say that each president in each period had contributed in a different way. I think this is a good opportunity for IPSL to look at a different turn and get it into different height, because I find it like more than it's a privilege for ASEAN, I think it's a privilege for IPSL to have ASEAN as the president from this onward. So warmly welcome to have you on board.
We will also witness the awarding of the Past President's Medal to our past president now, Mrs. Shirani Yasaratna. Let's put our hands together as we thank her for her wonderful past term of service.
So I am here with Mr. Randiva Malalasuriya, the Vice President of IEPSL. Mr. Randiva, how are you doing this evening?
I'm good, thank you.
All right. So can you tell our audience what are the key takeaways from today's event on sustainability?
Yes, so the key takeaway, not only for today's event, in general, sustainability is no longer good to do things. It's a must to do things. That's the main takeaway that we've been discussing since the morning. Because sustainability, ESG has to be a way of living, not only for private sector as well as the public sector, so as the countries. So that's the theme of the discussion today, and the capacity building was done around that all the day.
Okay, all right. So my final question to you would be, since IEPSL's inception in 2006, how has its role evolved?
Yes, IPSL is the umbrella organization for environment in Sri Lanka, which is appointed or rather established from Parliament. So the main role of IPSL is to gather professionals around environment, because if you look at Ministry of Chartered Engineers, the only engineers are there. But the uniqueness of IPSL, instead of environment professional, is you could be any profession, but as long as you have contributed to the environment, you can be part of this. So in that way, we were able to collect multidisciplinary team of professionals around IPSL, and that helped us to take the journey to the next level.
So I am here with Mr. Abita Pilapitia. He is from Homeland Skyline. Mr. Abita, how are you feeling this evening?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Okay, so my question to you would be, how does your company incorporate sustainability into its operations?
Ideally, as a company, as a group of companies, we focus on keeping 80% of any project rather than the projects within Colombo, on the outer skirts of Colombo, where it will be an 80 to 20 ratio. So we focus on 80% to be on sustaining the environment, whereas the 20% would be focused on going ahead with the construction terms.
It has been an incredible night here at CONVERGENCE 2025. We are delighted to see the dedication and commitment towards creating a more sustainable future for our country. As always, we extend our heartfelt gratitude to IEPSL for continuing to address critical environmental issues, as well as the unwavering, tireless effort to making Sri Lanka a better place. Well, that's all we have for today. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I'm Danelle, and this is Hi Events.